So let's take our flyaway hairs in pictures like these out of our photos in about 5 seconds. No more going in for hours to paint them all out by hand or dealing with Lightroom's subpar content aware removal. So we're gonna use AI to get amazing results, but you'll need to learn how to use it just right so you don't get results like these. Okay, for this, what we're going to need to do is you're going to have to have finished all of your edits for Lightroom except for the flyaway hairs. Leave those for last. Second, you're going to have a recent version of Photoshop installed in order to get this done. So 2023, 2024 should be good, or beta. So let's open Lightroom and our new version of Photoshop. Okay, so I'm going to use this image here of a senior portrait we did. And we can see the hair is kind of out of control in this image because of the static from her outfit and having been walking through the tall grass. I've gotten to the point where I have made all of my final edits, corrections, color grades. P.S. If you like the way this looks, my presets are for sale down in the description. I'm going to right click and export to Photoshop. This will bring the file over to Photoshop and retain all of the color and clarity that the 16-bit depth shooting raw affords us than if we saved it as a JPEG and then just opened it back up in Photoshop anyway. So it will allow us to bring it back into Lightroom as well when we save it so that we can still export this as a part of a series or control our exports for when we go to print our images because we have not compressed it. So once it's open in Photoshop, we're going to use the new Generative Fill feature. Now, this thing works wonders, but like I said earlier, you're going to have to learn how to use it the right way and learn all of the ins and outs and the intricacies that you need to learn. There's some things it does and doesn't like. If you do it wrong, sometimes you get weird stuff. Lucky for you, I've been playing around with it and I have some pretty good tips. Like, don't try and do the whole head at one time. Take it by segment. Also, I try and select sections only containing the flyaways and not be loosey-goosey and grab some areas that are bigger than I absolutely need. Third, it helps a little bit if you grab some smooth hair that doesn't need to be replaced, as it allows the AI to see that everything still needs to blend back into its original image somehow. So, once we have a good selection, we're not actually going to type anything in. That's important. Don't type anything in. It sounds weird, I know, but trust me, hit generate without doing that. The reason is it likes to do additive generative fill. So if you add anything in there, it's going to incorporate stuff without using your picture as like the base reference for it. Sometimes you don't get the magic up front, and other times it works first try. But one cool thing is we can see over here, we can do 2 other options that are automatically generated with it. And we can actually rank them so that the AI can learn and gather data about our input. Now, if you don't get something usable, you can generate another 3 more by, hitting redo. But if I don't get what I want after hitting redo one more time, I usually like to go in and make a bigger selection or a smaller selection. Something just like slightly different usually helps to do the trick. Also, don't try and do the whole head at one time. Now, once we get into a place that we like, there's one special trick that I really like to use. If we zoom in, you can kind of see that's messing up the natural grain patterning. It doesn't quite get that right. If you're a pixel peeper, you can kind of see this. But if it's on a small screen like a phone and no one's really zooming in, or it's part of a reel that's just like clipping through on Instagram or TikTok really quickly, you can get away without touching this up. But if these are professional level prints that you're getting made, like so let's say for someone's wedding, you're gonna have to touch them up because it will be obvious when you get them printed. So we can select our new content layers only and add just a slight, tiny little bit of noise to help it blend in just a little bit better. So this will help especially if this image is going to get printed. So now we're just gonna save this image and then close it out. And we're gonna hop back over into our Lightroom window that we didn't close. And now give it a second or two and our new image will be in there with the rest of the gallery as well as the original base image in case there's something else you want to go back up and retouch, or you want to just save that image for posterity. I don't know. And now you can export it as you regularly would, whether it's a JPEG or for prints. Finally, if you didn't hit like or subscribe, please do that now. That's a nice little transactional, YouTube-y thing. You know the deal, right? You watch other YouTubers.